All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Amy, if you could take the roll.
Mayor Bogenreith,
Here.
Ms. Hoffman,
Here.
Mr. Tucker,
Here.
Ms. Burhoop, and Ms. Train are absent.
All right, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'll look for a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, now I'll look for a motion to approve the minutes from the May 18th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Commissioner, Department Head, and Community Board reports. Got anything, Jeff?
Yeah, so our new library director started today, Hannah Mossert, who was a middle school reading teacher out at Dakota Valley for the last couple of years and in Vermillion for a long time before that. Started today. She'll be at our next meeting to introduce herself and talk to you. The boat ramp is open, but we're not charging. The kiosk is not quite up yet. We should have the equipment in by Thursday. We'll start charging shortly thereafter, but until that becomes operational, the arm will just be up and people can use it as they need to. The bike trail is nearing completion. The completion date is June 8th. Right now, they're backfilling and seeding, and then they'll do some cleanup work on the streets and whatnot ahead of that, and then it should be open and ready for service. The Union County project continues. We'll be looking to accept the infrastructure at the next meeting. If you'll notice, there's been a lot of landscaping and stuff going on at the entry. The entry feature is complete. The lights are on. And so that's coming along too. I wanted to make a note about code enforcement. There's a lot of, our code enforcement guy was down on Friday, and Andrew and I rode around with him a little bit and looked at some things. You know, there are a lot of yards out there that need mowed, but I do see a lot of people out mowing this week. In a couple weeks, he's gonna come down and do an exhaustive review of the community. I asked him not to send the letters out, and maybe we would approach that as more of a workshop type item with the community, just kind of showing the community some of the issues that are being identified from a code enforcement standpoint, so that we could really get a feel for A, what's out there, and B, what needs the most attention. And then we'll start trying to follow up from there. I think we need to do some marketing and some education of the code and what we are going to enforce and how we're going to enforce it. And, maybe we do it through a workshop instead of the nasty letters that we send out all the time. Also, there's a gas leak today on North Shore. Contractor hit a natural gas line right at the entrance there on the east end of North Shore. Crews are on site right now trying to contain it and pinch it off so it doesn't continue to leak, but service may be out for a little while on the natural gas. We'll have to see what Mid-American's time frame is on that. So that's all I have. That's all I got.
Jeff, you got anything on the red tag status of the red tag properties?
We got two red tags, one on Penrose, which Sarah was going to contact them on.
Working on that, yeah.
There's one on
Alcoma?
thank you, which I understand might have been bought or might have been sold. So, and then we also have another one that we're looking at red tagging, but haven't got that far yet. So we'll continue to push that.
Anyone else have
I
anything?
do.
Lynn?
Actually, two things. Parks and Recreation, our board's been really busy. We've been cleaning up the parks. We are having our first of the summer series ice cream social will be this Thursday, June 4, at Centennial Park. So come on out and have a little ice cream and visit with your neighbor. And the dog park is laid out, then it was not laid out, and then it was
Really,
decided that we should use the entire space, so it's now in what will be its final area. And the fencing has been ordered. Rusty's working on some items that will be inside of the dog park. We'll be getting the concrete work done. And you'll see that one of the very last things that will happen will be the actual fencing itself, because we need to get water into the site, and we have several things that need to happen, but it should be moving right along. And we've had a lot of people say how happy they are that North Sioux City will have their own dog park.
And what time is that, social?
Social, oh, yes, 6:30 to 8. And if it should rain, we will just go inside the senior center and use that facility.
All right. Anything?
No, I'm good.
Vince? Okay.
Tomorrow is Election Day, so remember to vote.
Yes, it is, Election Day. No other reports, then we'll move on to community input. If your item's not on the agenda, please come forward and share with us.
Hi, I'm Deborah Olson, 19 Penrose. Thank you all for serving our community, and this is possibly not kind of hearsay, but I've heard that there might be a yellow house from North Shore, kind of back, that might be coming to the property, city property next to us. We did show some interest in buying some of that property a few years ago, and we were told we probably couldn't do that because of some city stuff, and anyway, so we like having that empty, of course, but also I'm a little bit concerned that that house that might be considered to move there is kind of been hanging with the garage hanging off, and if it's structurally sound or whatever, to actually move it in, then hopefully it doesn't turn into something that just needs to be demolished down the road. So I'm just hoping that it would definitely be checked out very thoroughly. And I've just visited a little bit with Andrew, and he sounds like he can be kind of a contact person. But yeah, just being certain that it's not just pushing a demolition down the road or something. So thank you all.
Thank you. Yeah, I believe it's a project with Habitat for Humanity, and I'm
the
fairly
house will be
certain,
fully
fairly
rehabbed.
certain it would be completely rehabilitated and be like a new home. But that's my understanding.
Yeah. It'll have to meet all the building codes, and it'll go through all the inspections and everything that every other house would.
Val, representing Morgan at 8 Penrose. A follow-up question on that. What she's concerned about is that lot does not look very big, and that it would go into the, like, turnaround area.
Stockwell is currently staking out the lot, and we've already laid it out on the lot itself to make sure it fits on there, and it does fit, and it won't interfere with anything.
And it
Okay, yeah,
does
she's just
meet all the
concerned-
setbacks and everything.
She's concerned that road would end up being continued on to the bypass, is what she was thinking you were doing, was, you'd have to come out further.
That's
and-
not-
So it'd be straight
No,
instead.
that's not,
That's not the case
no, there'll be a turnaround down there at that end, just like we planned for it.
before, okay.
Hi, guys.
Hello, Anna.
Well, my complaint again is with the barricades. The only way you guys are gonna keep them from moving them going through is if you like put a cable through there so that they can't move them, because even when it's muddy, they are moving them and just making a mess of things, even though they know they're not supposed to. It's not fair to us, the ones that abide by the law that you're not supposed to go through there, so they need to do something other than the tape, because they continue to move the barricades.
The barricades are going to be moved further west here shortly
Okay.
to take on the remaining portion of the road. So those will be moved to the west. I would say, yeah, and I realize there's probably a little bit of a problem there, but some of those guys might be contractors moving from place to place, so
Yeah,
keep
well,
that in mind.
They usually have the yellow or the orange on, so you know that they're, or it's on their vehicles, but these are cars that are Iowa cars and,
Okay.
you know.
We'll get with Rusty, or not Rusty, but Rich.
My second thing is, for that temporary drive that you're gonna have. Okay, there needs to be some more rock put on either side of my drive because water pools there when we get the heavy rain. And that's gonna make a mess if you're trying to drive through there.
Yeah, we'll keep that in mind.
Okay, and then, how long is that dirt gonna be in the yard that's there?
The dirt in what yard?
In my yard, that they dumped in my yard? Because it makes it kind of hard to mow because there's big,
I'll have to look. I guess I don't know, but we have a progress meeting on Wednesday,
okay.
and it's usually out on site, so we'll take a look at it then.
Besides that, it's ugly anyway, and I know.
Well, if it doesn't need to
I'm
be,
just glad that I'm,
it
finally
does-
getting green grass in my yard. and
if it doesn't need to be there, we'll get it moved.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, but yeah, I'd appreciate the red rock on, on the other side of the drive and that, because it does get, there's quite a lot there. And it sucks when I have to roll my garbage cans out through that. But thank you guys for everything else that you're doing. Everybody's been super great about keeping us informed. And
We're trying. It's just a
yeah,
messy situation right
everybody's
now, but
busy, but
we'll get
is there a reason why they haven't been working out there on the east end?
East end, they're out there today on the east end. On the west end, they're just getting to that now, so that'll start taking place here shortly.
Yeah, but they haven't been doing much, on the east end of.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Okay. It just puts them farther behind to getting it done.
There are penalties built in. Anyone else? Daniel?
Good evening. Can you hear me? All right, step up and speak up. My name's Daniel Zuraff. I'm a resident of North Sioux City. I'm here on behalf of improving safety in our community and of residents, business, emergency responders, law enforcement, pedestrians, and those who visit our community. I have several questions. One, is anyone familiar with the NFPA, National Fire Protection Association, and the AWWA, American Water Works Association? Number two, are all of our hydrants equipped with a breakaway safety flange? Number three, is it true the water department owns and maintains the fire hydrants? Number four, when was the last documented time that the hydrants were flushed and pressure tested on an annual basis? I guess maybe this would be done annually. Flushing ensures adequate water flow is available to the fire department, residents, and businesses. This also cleans out the minerals and deposits which can plug the nozzles of the hoses, impeding flow when they are trying to fight fire and save lives. Number five, do we maintain a 36-inch circumference free area around the hydrants, a 60-inch space in front of the outlets, and an 18-inch distance between the ground and the outlet for the hoses? Number six, have you driven down Sodrick Drive lately? Imagine driving a fire truck, fire ladder truck, ambulance, police vehicle, responding to an emergency call and encountering traffic ahead of you in the southbound lane and opposing traffic in the northbound lane between Belmont and River Drive. While your adrenaline, heart rate, and stress levels are increasing up, it has been also mentioned that around the community that we should rename Sodrick Drive, Sioux Point Road, to Suicide Drive. Maybe it's time to widen the Sodrick Drive roadway between Blue Mountain Park Avenue and River Drive to match the roadway curb alignment on the north and south roadway approaches. I just have, in conclusion, my background, I've worked with several planning commissions. We worked planning hazard mitigation and economic development service to several state, county, city, village, and town governments. I've also worked for the United States federal government, Health and Human Services as a construction control inspector. Thank you. Have a safe day. Daniel Zuraff.
Dan, are you looking for someone from city staff to answer these questions for you and direct the answers to you? How would you like a response to your questions?
These are questions, these are community questions. I think they shouldn't just respond to myself. I think they should respond to the commission and let the community, through our discussions, maybe just discuss it, determine that at least it's it's an observation of things that we're doing, we're looking at, and how we go about making these changes. It's me asking and putting these down for, I guess, all the people that live in the community, all the people that have had any experience going through the community, trying to get around the community, and just witnessing how the fire trucks and cars try to pull over, where they go, what they do, what's their escape route. When people enter the intersection and they see lights coming at them and the fire truck doesn't know which way to go and they're slamming brakes on and people are sliding, they're handling equipment. What happens if you go out and fight a fire? What if you go out and you hook up your hose and your hose won't hook up because you need 6 feet because the hose doesn't bend down out for the hose to get that up to the hook. You hook it all up after all that work, you dig it out. The next hydrant might be more than 600 feet away. It might take a lot longer. In the meantime, your house is still on fire, burning, or they need to do something else. They might have an accident. There might be cars. They can respond to all of us just by my and everyone else's observation that maybe someday they're out there looking at the hydrants and marking them and saying, this is a red hydrant. This should have 500 gallons per minute. We should test that. We should make sure. And then we should make sure and make a note of it in our notes, which are open, I would think, open to the public if they're, when the last inspection was, what you found, how to do an inspection, which is on page 2. So,
Jeff, does the fire district have responsibility with any of these items? I don't know myself.
Yeah, the fire district does look at hydrants. In the dunes, they did it all the time here. I'm assuming they do it too. And then they provide a list of things that are unacceptable. Sometimes it's people's landscaping have encroached on them, and then you have to work to get those removed. The flushing, that kind of stuff should happen semi-annually. So yeah, all this stuff I can come up with a response for. I would let the fire, North Sioux City now has a fire marshal. Dakota Valley Fire District has a fire marshal that has been very diligent on fire code issues, the National Fire Protection Association, all that stuff, which has really they did a good job before, but ever since the full-time fire marshal came on, that's why you're seeing some of the things that you've seen over the last few years with the lock boxes and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that stuff's being addressed by the fire marshal, something that we hadn't had before, and Rusty takes care of our water system, so I can get that information for you.
if you gave it to me, I would probably come back up here and share it with the community.
Well, I'll report on at the next.
Okay, I think it'd be more important that we hear something that it's just being looked at, and if you want the names of the streets, or I don't really want to go to that point, because I see something else down the road if something would happen. And I think it's something that's obvious it's to myself very obvious that there's some issues. And I just want to, I should say, we want to make sure that if somebody goes and hooks up a hose, that it works and it's not going to be
Well,
a dry.
I can assure you that the fire district and our water team are making sure that happens.
Okay.
I don't think you need to concern yourself with that, but
But if I was going to go across the street here on River Drive, for instance, right across the street, right on the corner here, over on Wallace, and the dirt is within about 6 inches of the nozzle, somebody's going to have to come out there in the dark if there's a fire in this building, for instance, right across the street, because that's the first hydrant, and they're gonna have to dig that out. They're gonna have to dig down 1.5 feet before they even think about putting the hose on there.
I guess I don't know what specific hydrant you're talking about.
Right on the corner, Wallace and River Drive, right
We,
there,
we can look at them, but I'm just telling you that the
across from the library. But, and I don't wanna go into all that, because it would take, but
and
I
we'll-
think it's important.
it is. We'll look
Yeah,
at it.
it's very important. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Daniel. Anyone else? All right, we'll move on to the agenda items. North Shore Bypass. We have a resolution 2026-12 authorizing additional acquisition of property by agreement for North Shore Drive realignment project.
Yeah, so this is the last piece of the puzzle, so to speak, that we need to acquire. This is the John Roost property. He signed the papers this morning, and so we're ready to move forward with the acquisition. The resolution is the same resolution that we passed on all the other acquisitions, changing the appropriate dollar amounts and parcel numbers.
And this is all of the Roost properties that would affect the bypass
Right.
construction. Okay. Anybody have
I make a
questions?
motion that we would pass resolution 2026-12.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is flood recovery, North Shore reconstruction update.
Good afternoon, everyone. So for this commission meeting, we prepared an engineer's report that just summarizes kind of the high-level activities of what's going on with the North Shore project, as well as the other construction projects ongoing within the community. So for North Shore Drive specifically, a utility contractor has been working on storm sewer primarily since they started with the project. That was kind of the first priority. They've continued to work on storm sewer, but then had to kind of pause any operations associated with that to ensure that the concrete block mats were installed prior to the lake rising to a certain elevation, to the point where they couldn't complete that work, and they would have had to return late this fall. So that kind of paused a lot of the activity on the utility side for a while, and it took longer than expected, both because of weather and other issues. But they've continued to work on, or continuing to work on utilities this week. Today, they were working on a sanitary sewer force main connection, and that's where this gas hit occurred. So a quick update on that. Mid-American has now shut that gas main off. But my understanding is that it is essentially down from North Shore Drive all the way west to Windstone. And the last I heard from Mid-American, they're going to be working potentially overnight to get that back up and running as quickly as they can. As far as access goes, especially with the rain events we've had almost every weekend, access hasn't been ideal. We've been addressing that with the contractor, and we'll continue to address that. I know that's kind of been a big concern of, ours as well as the administration's, is ensuring that we have adequate access for residents that are being impacted by the construction. I know that there was plans to move the barricades further west of the elementary school this week, and the grading contractor wanted to start milling off asphalt. I think we're going to pressure them to not do that yet, or strongly encourage that they don't open up any more construction area until they absolutely need to, because at this point, there's still plenty of work to do on the east end. With that, we're approximately 10% done with the project, and right now I'm estimating that they're approximately 12 days behind schedule. Partially weather, partially their own issues, but I'm hoping we can strongly encourage them to do everything they can to speed that progress up. So that's it for the North Shore Drive reconstruction project. Flood property grading project, phase one has kind of been on hold while we've been waiting for garages to be moved out. I expect that work to begin again here shortly. And flood property grading project phase two, contractor's still routing on that, but I think we'll expect that to start up quickly as well. And we'll hopefully see some dirt moving on the north side of North Shore in the next week or two.
How many garages are left?
I didn't get out to the west side today, but I think,
there's 3 of them still sitting there,
yeah,
if not 4.
but I think,
There's 4, yeah, they're all up on
yeah,
Beams?
I-beams, yeah.
yeah, so they're getting prepared to move, but they haven't moved yet. So, any questions for me on any of those projects? Okay.
I think so.
So I think that's it for flood recovery, North Shore construction updates, and McCook Lake grading project updates. Jeff, do you want to do
Yeah,
a public
this
hearing?
is- So we'll need a motion to open another CDBG public hearing. We had one last week, or at the May 4th meeting, where we presented the Centennial Drive lift station, the River Drive lift station, the local match for the North Shore bypass, and the local match for the Corps of Engineers Lower Big Sioux River flood mitigation general investigation. The state had asked us to add 2 more projects to that list in the event that EDA, we put in an application to the Economic Development Administration for funding on Centennial and River Drive lift stations. If those come through, they wanted to have a couple other projects to consider. And so if you scroll down a little bit, Amy, we added the military road reconstruction from Derby Lane to exit 4. And we added a North Shore bypass lift station, which we removed from the original package, to the CDBG DR application list. Those will be submitted June 12th, and then we should find out which projects get funded within 30 days, 30 to 60 days. And then we can kind of take next steps. The next part of the agenda, if there's any, well, before I go there, are there any public comments?
We should
we
do a motion
probably need
to
a motion
open the
to-
public
Oh, I'm
hearing.
sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we need a motion to open the
We
public.
need a motion to go for a public hearing.
Yeah.
Yes, I would make a motion that we move into a public hearing to take comments for submission of CDBG DR applications.
I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, the hearing is open. And the first item is resolution,
Well,
Oh.
Well, before we do that, we'll
let's get
just
comments.
open it up
Oh,
for
okay,
any
sure.
comments, or staff can report whether or not they've received any written or calls for comments.
I'm very pleased to see that military road reconstruction has been added to this procedure because it's needed help for quite some time now.
are there any comments? And have you received any?
I have none.
Public, okay.
Let's make a motion to move out.
I will make a motion to move out of public hearing.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Hearing is closed. And now we'll look at each resolution.
Yep.
First resolution is 2026-13 to appoint an environmental certifying officer for the CDBG DR projects.
So this resolution is, all 3 of these resolutions are required for the application process, whether it's CDBG DR or the regular CDBG program. But the first one identifies the city administrator as the environmental certifying officer, which basically authorizes me to sign the paperwork that comes in from the environmental. And it has the city administrator It's either usually the city administrator or the mayor. It's just easier if we have it, just the city administrator, that way I can take care of it without trying to find Chris.
Okay, is there a motion on that resolution?
I'll make a motion to pass Resolution 2026-13.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, resolution passes. Next one is 2026-14 to appoint certifying officer for the CDBG DR projects.
So this would be, this is very similar. It appoints the city administrator to certify pay requests and other required documents. Change orders and pay requests will still come in front of you to get authorization for me to sign it. But it's the same process.
I'll make a motion to pass Resolution 2026-14.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Third item is Resolution 2026-15 to adopt South Dakota Residential Anti-Displacement and Relocation Assistance Plan.
This resolution adopts the South Dakota's Residential Anti-Displacement and Relocation Assistance Plan, which was attached to this memo. And basically what that is it says we will not use CDBG funds to relocate people from their house or residence. This is more of a urban thing where they redevelop big projects, and they want to avoid relocating people or displacing them, and that says we will not do that. The projects that we're using CDBG money on, it's really not relevant to those projects, but we have to pass this anyway.
I'll make a motion for approval of the resolution adopting the Residential Anti-Displacement and Relocation Assistance Plan.
And I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item, approval of transfer of $163,120 to the Corps of Engineers for the levee rehab project per the cooperation agreement.
Yeah, this is in relation to the cooperation agreement we approved a while back for the rehab of our levee system from the 2024 flood and from the deferred maintenance that we've had on it. Lynn pointed out I did make an error in the number. The 163,120 should have been 164,325. So make a note of that. $164,325. I took that from an earlier estimate and not from the contract we signed. So the 313,000 total has to be to the Corps of Engineers, I think by May 6th or 8th. And of that 313, we're paying 164,325, and the county's paying 148,675 to make up that total 313. So
What's the percentage split on?
52.5% for us and 47.5% for them. And their portion comes from anything downriver of the end of the levee, pretty much.
Okay.
I'll make the motion for the approval of the transfer of 163,120,
164.
sorry, 164, what?
4,325.
4,325, okay, for the Army Corps of Engineers.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, on to planning and zoning. Update on that?
So a couple updates quick from our last meeting. One of the items on the agenda was this consideration of a resolution and recommendation to the city commission regarding infrastructure acceptance within the Union Crossing development, phases 1A of the residential and then the commercial phase. We had a public hearing before consideration of that item. Nobody commented from the public. And then that passed and is recommended for commission action It'll be at the next meeting. We'll be advertising for that public hearing this Friday. We also had consideration of the plat for Centennial Lift Station. That'll be the next agenda item at this meeting. And then also, and that passed at the Planning Commission level. And then consideration of the comprehensive plan, which will be the third item under planning and zoning tonight, and that also passed. And then we had brief updates on construction activities and a few building permits to report from the building inspector. So with that, we'll move on to the next item, which is plat of Lot 1 Centennial Lift Station Edition. City staff and Stockwell engineers are submitting this plat for Lot 1 of Centennial Lift Station to the city of North Sioux City. This will subdivide Lot 13 of Keating Resources Edition for transfer of 4,800 square feet for future construction of a new lift station to replace the old Sioux Laundry lift station. I believe all the property owners have agreed for transfer of that piece of land. This plat was considered by the Planning Commission at the last meeting last week and was recommended for City Commission approval.
Lots of motions.
So, we just want approval for the plat of Lot 1, a Centennial Lift Station addition. I would move that we would pass that.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ross.
Just jump right into it?
Sure. just
All right.
in. Comprehensive plan.
Yeah, comprehensive plan. So did just a little bit of a recap of the process over the last year plus. City staff, along with various working groups, commissioners, different community boards and groups have been working towards the update of a much-needed update of the city's comprehensive plan. We previously had two public hearings, one at the Planning Commission level and then one here at the City Commission. The plan was then presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission. They approved it on a 4-0 vote, and so now it is to the City Commission. I'm just going to go over a few of the updates that were made since the last, since you last saw this during the public hearing 2 meetings ago. Amy, I'm going to jump around a little bit, so because some of these are related. So if you go to see page 26, the updated major streets plan, that was updated to include the city's planning jurisdiction, which goes out 3 miles. This was something that Ross actually pointed out that our ordinances do require this. So this update was made to show the city's planning jurisdiction. And then on page 43, some language was added to refer to this update. So that was one of the changes made. The second change was on page 28. This was a change. I met with a resident after the public hearing 2 meetings ago regarding this item, and he said, hey, you know, we get some senior programming over in Sioux City. Do you think that should be included? And it was a good idea. So a small amount of language was added to include some senior focused programming, the Active Generations Partnership that the city has in place. If you go to page 32 and 33, at the public hearing here 2 meetings ago, there was good discussion about schools and school enrollment and ensuring that we have a healthy school system and the city's role in that. So some language was added to the comprehensive plan to make it very clear that it's a priority. And then on page 37, there was a goal at the very end there to refer to school enrollment as well. The other change was, we're going to go to page 42, Amy, the future land use map. There's a section that's shaded in green. That's new. So there was some discussion after the public hearing here regarding this area. It's frequently underwater, it's low, it's not suitable for development. How can we make that known in the comprehensive plan? So if you go back to, let's see, that'd be page 35 and 36. Some language was at the very bottom. There was some language added regarding the future land use map for this conservation area, that this area should be preserved, that it's a floodway, wetland, drainage way, whatever you want to call it, and that it should be preserved, and would encourage that area not to be developed. It's just not suitable for develop, so.
That area includes Adams?
What's that?
That area included Adams, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Adams, the Isaac Walton League, and then some areas south, extending down south to the Missouri River. So those were the 4 changes that were made. Again, this went through the Planning and Zoning Commission at their last meeting, and is now with the City Commission for its consideration of approval. And again, just looking ahead, once approved, it goes into place. We'll continue to analyze it going forward. At minimum, we'll make annual updates, and then every 5 years, major updates.
I'll make a motion to pass Resolution 2026-15, adoption of South Dakota residential. Oh, sorry, my mistake, 2026-16, resolution adopting comprehensive plan for the city of North Sioux City. Sorry, my mistake.
Second.
Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Go ahead.
You got
Go ahead,
something,
sir.
Joe? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I just wanted to mention, I appreciate Andrew and Ross and everybody's work on this, along with Avery. I think it was a really healthy exercise. Some things came to light in our last plan, and in visiting with the working groups and talking to you guys, some changes were made, I think healthy changes were made to this comprehensive plan to a point where this now can be the basis for our action moving forward. And I think it was a really good exercise.
Thanks for your work.
I appreciate your hard work.
Absolutely. No, I had a lot of good help with the working groups and with Jeff and Avery and Ross and several others. It was a good team effort, and happy about the end result. And on to
The easy
next
part's
thing.
done. And the easy part's done. Now to make it come to fruition will be great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next item, Centennial Lift Station. Resolution 2026-17, which authorizes additional acquisition of property and easement by agreement for the Centennial Drive Lift Station project.
Yes, similar to the River Drive lift station, this, which closed on last week and a half ago. So that's been closed, but this Centennial Lift Station, this resolution allows us to purchase the property you just approved the plat for in an earlier agenda item, and would allow us to, once we get the funding lined up through EDA and/or CDBG, DR, we can start these projects in the fall, get them to bid. But this would authorize us to make payment and close on the Centennial Lift Station project.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-17, resolution authorizing additional acquisition of real property and easement by agreement for the Centennial Drive Lift Station project.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to financial. First item, approval of employee promotions and wage changes.
So department head and city administrator hires need to be approved by the commission. So we're asking for approval to hire Hannah Mostert as the library director, an annual salary of $60,212. And additionally, in January of each year, we publish wages for all employees. if anything changes or new hires, we need to get those published as well. So the rest of this memo is, we had Officer Andrew Ryan was promoted from detective to sergeant. His pay rate was increased due to that. And then Riley Tunison moved from Public Works 1 to a Public Works 2 operator in training by passing his first course. So his rate of pay went up according to that step on our pay scale as well. And then the rest of these, Maria Photo was hired for the new customer service utility clerk position at City Hall. Larry Wolverton came back to us on a part-time basis for summer help. Braden Bumstead, new police officer. MJ Myers, a library assistant. And Jay Schensel and Karen Rydstrom are serving senior meals.
I'll make a motion for the approval of employee promotions and wage changes.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Next item, please check your calendars and see if we could potentially move the June 15th commission meeting to June 18th.
I make a motion that we move the June 15th commission meeting to June 18th.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Is 18th a Wednesday or a Thursday?
Let's see.
Thursday.
I think it would be a Thursday.
I had it screwed up the
It's
first
a
time.
Thursday.
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 We wanted to do Wednesday, didn't we?
June 18th is a Thursday.
Yeah, I really wanted to be at that because we had that TIF discussion. So we're trying to move it to the 17th, correct, Jeff?
I can make the 17th or the 8th. I'm going to be in Pierre at the South Dakota Housing Conference, the 16th and 17th. I can be back at 6 o'clock on the 17th if that works, or we can do it on the 18th, either way.
I'm out of town on the 18th.
Let's do it on 17th then.
Does the 17th work?
You want, can I correct myself?
Well, nobody voted on it.
Okay.
and So you can just amend
Amend
your
your
motion.
I would like to amend my motion to move the June 15 commission meeting to June 17.
Thank you, Lynn.
Do I have to amend my second?
You accept her amendment?
I will second that.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries.
Along that same lines, we will be needing to have a meeting within the next week to canvass the results of the election. We have to do that by the 9th. So we only have 2 of you here that can even attend that. I know you can attend, but you're not going to be able to vote. So we'll have, I'll get with Jessica and Julie and we'll.
You have
find
to
a
do it
time
on the
to do
8th
that.
then? Or you want to canvass on the 8th or the 9th?
Or this week yet.
Or this
or the end of this week. So we'll check with
As long as-
Julie and Jessica.
As long
and
as it's
I'll
not
let you guys know.
6:30 to 8 on
Right.
Thursday.
Okay,
Just a heads up.
all right.
Just get in touch with us.
Okay. Next item is approval of bills.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And this meeting is adjourned.
Nope, motion to.
Oh, we need a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Need a motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.
You guys are great. You had a